Well, folks, I'm about to make a start to looking at the big bale silage class here for AgriScot, and those of you can remember a way back, we're here in the dark distant days of November, but way back in the summer, we had an early summer of really dry sunny weather, and then we had a fairly, certainly down here in the south, fairly midland August, September. This is big bale silage. I've not actually, don't know the harvesting dates of when this was actually made, but the one I'm looking at is the one I selected on chemical analysis, and according to my information provided, this is 42, nearly 47% dry matter, and this lady is obviously interested. 12.9 ME, fantastic, and an 80 D value, and a crude protein of 13. So on analysis that looks really good, and I suppose I could offer some to you, dear, to see if you were interested in it, but you've got better silage in front of you, but I won't go there. So anyway, that's number one. I do like that from the analysis. I'm now going to go to number two, which is, according to the sample, much wetter, and I would agree with the chemical analysis. This is obviously a bit more stemmy material and a bit lower dry matter. I'll demonstrate dry matter now while I'm wearing gloves. Those of you can see there's quite a bit of juice running out of that one there. Nothing wrong with that, having low dry matter, but you'll have to feed a bit more of that. Doesn't have the same smell to it, tanginess to it like the other sample. But this one here is analysing again at 12 ME, 76 D value, and a 13.9 protein. It's probably the lower dry matter that's maybe interfering with me. Sorry girls,
go on girls,
will you please? And I'm now, gosh, what a contrast. Number 3 out of my sample. Gosh, that's really high dry matter, very resemblance of a hay. It's saying it's 84 dry matter, so that probably would stick as a hay leaf material, but certainly a lot lower in ME of 11.8. But I do like the sniff of that one there, and it's saying for this one here, number 3 in my selection of chemical analysis, 74 D value and a slightly higher protein of 15.8. So that's useful material. But I think I have to go back. Unfortunately, number 2 is going to have to move to number 3. And if I rank them, this is the one I like. This is the one I like, and I'm sure these girls, if they get the chance, would like it too. This is number 1, and I'm going to place this one here, number 2, for what it is. I should eat it, but I don't think I've had lunch, so no bother. And just due to dry matter, this is probably a bit wetter, but it will feed really well. There's red clovers in there, there's a whole range of grasses. So I think that concludes the big bale competition. So number 1 was 485, and number 2 was 509, and number 3 513.
So the ranking is Mr. Jamie MacDonald, Aberfastell, Thurso, Caithness. Wow. Second is Redknock Estate, Redknock House, Portamonteith, Stirling. And the third is W&S Thompson, Bordlands Farm, West Linton, Peebleshire.
Right. Oh. Well folks, moving on to the next class, this is the Young Farmer Dairy competition. And the way I've ranked them on chemical analysis, this one here I'm about to look at, it was the one I ranked number 1 in my selection criteria. Smells lovely. Yeah. I bet you these girls behind me could probably sample it for me, but never mind, I'll leave them at where they are. This is telling me a dry matter of 30.7, 12.1 ME, 75.8 D value, 14 protein. I'm a bit concerned that that's saying that is 30% dry matter. I reckon I can see there's a lot of juice coming out, and you can see by the state of my gloves. That's my only worry. I don't think the sample is presented.
Is this an outdoor pit?
I like the material. Yeah, there's a bit of leaf, a lot of leaf there, and the stem, ideally for feeding to a dairy cow. Anyway, we'll move on to number 2. This certainly much drier in presentation, and it's saying 26 dry matter on the analysis. I would say this is drier, and I'll do my first bit of that one there on the squeeze test. There's a drip or two there, but that's not far away, I don't think. I'm going to have a bit dig into the bucket, see what we find. Oh, I like the smell of that. It's now sticking to me now. Yeah. It's nicely chopped. Again, the leaf to stem ratio is just about spot on. I don't know, we don't know the cutting dates, but again, if this was first cut and it was early cut, it should have been cut in dry conditions. Slightly damp. Anyway, the last one on my, this is much drier indeed, and it says 36.6 dry matter with a 11.9 ME, 74 D value, and an 18.5 protein. Wow, that's true, easy to feed, that stuff. Certainly a lot drier, and not with the squeeze test, there's no juice coming out of that, so that's certainly more representative. I could eat that. This one's a bit, the sample looks a lot wetter. It's coming out, I don't like where it's sitting at the moment. Putting it there. Digging down, because sometimes you can get, right, still a bit. Girls, what do you think? Tough call here. That's definitely going down to the bottom of the line on the 3 there. That's higher protein in this one here. There we go. Decision's made, folks. Number 1, as far as my judging is concerned today, is 555. Number 2 is 539, and number 3 is, obviously, whatever the number says there, 502.
Stuart van der Proot, Shallock Farm, Leswold, Wigtonshire. The second is Andrew Gemmell, Turner Hill Farm, Mauchline, Ayrshire. And the third is Fraser Thompson, Kirkton-on-Beef Farm, 5.
Okay folks, moving on to another class now to judge in the silage competition for AgriScot. We have the young beef farmer category, and I have here the one I selected, number 1 on analysis, in front of me. Oh, that smells powerful. Lovely looking stuff. It's telling me a 28.7 dry matter, 11.4 ME, 71.5 D value, and a crude protein of 12.6. Excellent analysis. Nothing wrong with that. Nicely chopped, bit of long fibre there, but that for a beef animal, depending on what it's for, a bit of structure to that would be ideal, I would have thought, for the purposes it's going to be used for as a beef farmer. Well done to a young person for making this silage. I'll move on to what I've selected is number 2 in my selection criteria, and this is again, I do like the smell of that, the structure. It's got a slightly higher dry matter, this one. It's got 32.7, 11.1 ME, 69 D value, and a crude protein of 12.8. Not so sure, I thought that the previous one was maybe drier, but my famous test will tell you me for dry matter. There is a bit of juice. There's a bit of juice there, so hence why I'm wearing my gloves. As you can see by my hands, there is moisture in that. But to feed beef cattle, I think that would do a job. It's well enough chopped. I don't know what that is there. There's a wee bit of maybe foreign matter there, but Okay, that's number 2 in the selection criteria. Moving on to number 3. Gosh, I'm so far away from my bit of paper now. Number 3 is 35 dry matter, 11 Ne, 68 D value, and 12.6 protein. Wow. Incredible stuff. Incredible. Dry matter, this one was slightly better than this. Got the same numberage there. Nice mixture of fibre and leaf there. Gerald, what are you going to say? You going to pass comment?
Give them a handful.
This is the beef silage. We've got dairy cows behind me. I'm sure if they're interested or not, like. But again, that was a bit wetter than the example, and I'm going to place them. I'm not going to stay clear. Sorry, move again on this. I think number 1 on analysis is still going to be my first. I do like that mixture of that grass there. The chopped material. It looks okay. And this one here. So yes, that is my placing. So number 1 will be in the young farmer, beef farmer competition. Here is 451. Number 2 is 483, and number 3 551. Over to you, Mr. Best Senior.
Right, the first placing is to Andrew Neal, Upper Nisbet, Jedburgh, the Borders. The second place goes to Craig Marshall, Auchinleck Farm, Castle Douglas in the Stewartry. And the third, Rebecca Brown, Low Glen Gaya, Stranraer, Wigtonshire.
Well, we're moving on to another class. This time we're going on to the beef silage class. And I've selected my 3 entries for inspection. This one here in front of me was the one I ranked number 1 on chemical analysis. A very finely chopped material we have here. Wow. Smells. Yep. I could just about eat that one too. 30.6 dry matter, 12.3 Me, 77 D, 15 protein. And it's for beef. Wow. Beef animals will do extremely well on that. Many a dairy boy would be proud of that type of silage too. Very finely chopped. Again, the squeeze test for dry matter, but I have no reason to question that. So it's about 30. Yep. It'll be in that region, I would have said, so that's ideal. I do like that one. Moving on to number 2. A bit more leaf, and I see, wow, another full bucket. Material. This one's slightly damper, but again, the analysis, it ties in with the analysis. It said it's 22.5. 12.1 Me, 75 D value, nearly 76 D value, 18 protein. Again, complete diet, but as it said there on the analysis, from the chemical analysis, it is slightly lower dry matter, and hopefully you'll see that as I squeeze that there. Nothing wrong with that, it can be fed, yes, but it's all about feeding the animal optimum, and dry matter's important. Smells okay, just the dry matter. Anyway, moving on to the last one, and this is a different sample altogether, folks. If I'm not mistaken, this would be a big bale.
No.
This is quite long material. I think it will be a big bale. I don't think it's actually come out of a wagon, but I don't know. But there's a bit of other material in there. Yeah. That one on analysis is 34.5 dry matter, 11.9 Me, 74 D value, and a 13.7 protein. Go away, Kettles. Get away. difficult to put these between. We've got two clamps and a longer fibrous material here. Again, for beef animals, there's nothing wrong with that there. I do like that first cut. It's stayed number one. It's just a bit wet, but yeah. Difficult to put this. It just lower dry matter. Again, when I look at it, chop, easily fed. This one here, a bit more fibrous. Again, depending on the beef sector, what you're going to be utilising the crop for. Anyway, I'm going to leave them as they stand in that one there. So number one is as it stood is number 467, number 2 522, number 3 556. Thank you. Over to you, Andrew.
The first winner is Mr. R. Black, Druckle Castle Farm, West Linton, Peebleshire. The second is Graham Lofthouse, Bank House, Stowe, Galashiels. And the third is Mr. Ali Martin, Gargaston Farm, Murrayford, Rossshire.
Wow. Well, folks, this is bringing me to the last class to judge the day, and we're very appropriate. This is the dairy sector in the dairy shed here at Triton Royal. And number one that I selected on the chemical analysis, the one I'm looking at the moment, it had according to the figures presented, 33.4 dry matter, 12.3 ME, 76.9 D value, and a 16.9 protein. Yes, it smells lovely. I don't think there's any reason to question it, but I'll do my usual here and do a bit of a squeeze to see where we are. But as you can see, there's no juice running out of that there, so I think we're in the 30s on the dry matter. Oh, looking at the sample of grass in front of me here, a mixture of stem and leaf, which is what we want. We don't want all stem, we don't want all leaf. It's getting that balance right. That looks a nice tidy sample. No reason to question that one. Sorry girls, stay away from my paper. Number two in the selection was this sample here. I'm having a good rummage in the bucket to get down like that. Equally a lovely smell to that. 36 dry matter, 12.2 ME, 75.9. Gosh, there's nothing in it on analysis, but a 14.8 crude protein. Certainly nice and dry. Again, no need to do the squeeze, but we'll demonstrate that is dry enough, ideally for feeding to the dairy herd. These girls behind me would probably love that for their tea. Again, the sample, well chopped mixture of leaf to stem, there. Very, very similar. The last one in my selection, which was number 3, it's in 30.9 dry matter, 12.1 ME, 75.9 D value, and a 17.7 protein, so a much higher protein level there. Again, I don't see anything untoward. I think it's going to be a close call, this one. Again, I'll demonstrate that the dry matter is still, there's nothing coming out when you squeeze that. My hands are dry. So, it's going to be down to personal preference here. Oof. One girls, I maybe need you to join me and help me. We're splitting hairs, folks. Bit longer chop than that one there. That's still sticking to where I said it should be. I'll go down the bucket a bit just to see. I'm not going to pick up any rogue there, but no. That's stain number 1. I like that one. Yeah. I don't see any reason why not to leave, just to leave the situation as it stands. So that's my final call, folks. Number 1 in the dairy sector is 545. Number 2 is 484, and number 3, 475. Over to you, Mr. Best Senior.
The first placing is from Mr. Thomas Ralston, Drunemble, Campbelltown, Argyll.
Wow.
The second is from Craig Stalker, Ratton Castle, Carlisle. And the third is Robert Murdoch, Hyde Park, Coylton, Ayrshire.
Wow, what a spread.
On behalf of Watson Seeds, I'd very much like to thank the staff of the Crichton Royal Farm, Baggy and John, for helping me with storing all these grass samples. This has taken us about 2 weeks to collect. As you can see, the geography has been quite well spread out, and it would have been impossible to do it within a few days. So I would much appreciated the help of FUD with the fridge storage capacity. And not least, Mr. Hugh McClymont for judging this competition. Very grateful for Hugh. He's a very busy chap, very difficult to try and get him fit in with things, but my goodness, he always helps, and what a great help he is. Thank you very much.